Welcome back to another Blueprint video. I'm Ghost, and in today's video, I want to highlight some of the new Town Hall 15 strategies following the June update. So without further ado, let's get to it. Welcome to our very first replay here following the June update. Now there have been questions to where people would ask whether Super Archer Blimp is dead or Blizz Blimps are dead. Well, I wouldn't necessarily say it's dead, but it's just more riskier and harder just because the CC troops comes out faster. So instead, here we go. We did do basically the same blimp style approach as we have in the past, but instead this time we are playing with the Super Dragons, and we also have the double clone. So there we go. That gives us 3 Super Dragons. So you can really see how beneficial the Super Dragons can be just because, some of the buildings that the Super Dragons are getting, for instance, this multi up here, is what our Super Archer wouldn't be able to get. But you can see here with not much damage up there, you can really just see how the Super Dragon was able to clear the multi, clear the monolith, and just clear this whole top portion of the base. So here we are, starting with our Sui. Now we do have the baby warden, the princess warden there, just as give us that extra HP. Although it's not that max, it's still just providing the king, providing the queen, providing this ice golem with extra hit points. So this might be the new idea for new Sui attacks, is using the princess warden. But stay tuned, you will be able to see more effective usage of the princess warden. So here we go. Classic Sui, basically clearing this whole bottom right side of the base. We got the RC trickling in now. Although I did want the king and queen to work together so I could throw the RC, the multi, and go there. But either way, it's still working just as fine as planned. We are getting both multis, and here you can see at the base, we basically don't have that much splash to Lalo other than just scatter compartment. So again, the Super Dragon CC, I think it's a pretty nice use case depending on the base. Like on this one, for instance, there wasn't really that much damage other than just the Town Hall and the monolith. So after following that, you would be able to get more value with those dragons just because there's no air targeting defense that could kill those dragons unless it's stuck in the poison. So as you can see, this base is following pretty close in the end, but we do have queen ability, we do have RC, and this again is the Super Dragon clone Blimp Lalo. So let's jump into our very next replay. Alright, and we are back with our second replay, but on the same base but different attack this time. So on this base is basically a Queen Walk Hydra, but however, it's just using the Queen Walk and a recall spell to set a funnel for the dragon. So as you can see, my main target was this eagle, but unfortunately the queen bailed and did not actually pat down that eagle. Instead, she went up here. So I was okay with that just because, again, the main purpose of this little small queen walk was just to get some funneling down so my dragons could path into the base, into the core. So here we go. Once this cannon and this gold mine goes down, we're just going to recall the queen, like so, and then we're just going to drop her back at 12. And ideally, I wanted her to walk to this multi right there at 11. That way, the pathing for my dragons is actually super narrow. So without waiting, we're just going to start our dragon and our dragon riders, and then blimp with the warden as well. Look at these new dragon level. That's one thing I like about this update, is the dragon look. But however, blimp is sailing in. Now we are finding air skellies. We did find a NATO, so that's just going to make me having to use another freeze for the town hall when it's activated. So here we go. We're going to clone the loon to the monolith, clone to the town hall, and all of the dragons are going in towards the bottom side. So here we go. This whole core is basically gone now because of the dragons and how powerful these new dragons are. So we're going to start the king to kind of like relieve some of the damage in case this bottom expo were to target my queen. I did not want that. So I'm just starting the king early just to relieve the damage off the queen. The queen walk is still going well. And again, you could see how much the dragon took off. Now, one thing I will point out is I did not expect the dragons to take out the entire base, but just enough so that my heroes can clean up the base. So again, the Queen Walk Hydra is pretty simple and it's effective. You don't necessarily have to get the eagle. Now, imagine if I actually did get the eagle, then my dragons wouldn't have been taking all that damage to begin with. So with the Queen Walk Hydra, it's just, queen walk one side the funnel for the dragon, recall the queen, and basically walk her on the other side and just drag into the middle. So you're gonna basically see I did not actually need the RC here. I mean, if it were time purpose, then yeah, I would use the RC, but we definitely did not need it in terms of power, just because we did have enough with the queen ability and with the king ability and its phoenix to clear the rest of the base. So there we go, swag RC, and that right there was with the new Queen Walk Hydra. So let's jump into our very next replay. Okay, so we are back with the Super Hogs. This time we are going to do it with the Skelly Donut. So the main thing I like about these Super Hogs is that once the Super Hog dies, it splits into the Super Rider and a Hog Rider. So not only you're gonna have a Hog taking the defenses, but you're gonna also have cleanup. So that's the good thing I like about these hogs. So here we go. We're going to start with our Sui. As you can see, the Apprentice warding is right behind the hero. It actually does provide this Sui with a lot extra HP. So as you can see, I did send 2 P.E.K.K.A.s to kind of just set some funneling for the Sui and just to provide those extra tank in case there was like additional Teslas. But the king does bail out and go out towards that air defense and warden. Not the end of the world. As you can see, he is going to be able to reach back into the town hall. Now, I did have the Titan at 12, just kind of delayed there just to see if there were any Skellies by this queen compartment to take down. But once the queen logs onto the town hall, I don't necessarily need to wait. So I'm going to start like 1 super hog right there and 1 super hog just to funnel so everything could be sent into this multi right here. Now, the one thing I could have done differently here is just maybe change the pet on the warden to maybe the yak, just so, you know, if the super rider were to die, then you have that extra troop to start the cleanup. So the one thing that was rough was that instead of being the wall, it goes outside for cleanup instead of going inside. So maybe with the yak, it could open the base a little bit more, so those super riders could actually move a little faster on terms of cleanup. That way, just not stuck on the walls or other buildings outside. So this does falls pretty close. I got an awkward split left and right, but again, this goes to show the power of the super rider, the super hogs with the RC, even though the RC wasn't that max. So I was able to clear this whole entire eagle, 2 bomb towers, rage, and both scatter compartments actually as well, and almost both hit the heroes. So again, the power of the super hogs with the RC, whether it's a Sui like this or following a donut, it's very strong. So let's jump into our next replay. Alrighty, so we are going to be looking at our next replay here, but this time we're going to highlight something that we have not yet, which is the super bowlers smash. So here we go. We are starting the queen here with the Skelly spell. Now, this main objective of the queen is to basically just get the eagle and this single to basically set this right side of the funnel for my super bowler smash. So here we go. We're going to just start with the queen, 4 healers, and then once these defenses go down, we're just going to recall her out of there and then basically start our smash in towards this king and RC. So we're going to add the Apprentice Warden with this King and Siege Barrack push just because we want to add that push extra hit point just so it could go further into the base in terms of funneling and just providing tanking for the back end of the base, which is primarily these 2 Expo. So here we go, 2 Ice Golems already in. We're going to drop Headhunters to support this push as we move towards the heroes. We're going to drop our jump into the base. Here we go with the Siege Barrack as well and the Apprentice Warden. And there you can see its range in covering the P.E.K.K.A. and this king. So here we go with these bowlers. We do only have 3 bowlers. Now we are getting some pretty great freeze values there. We got some Ice Golem freeze and we got our own freeze. We're going to use our Warden ability. Here we go right after that Town Hall goes off and we're dealing basically 2 of those poisons and that Giga Poison. So we're just going to go ahead and invest this in Viz to try to keep everything alive while this king pushes in. We already did start the RC, and as you can see, super hog riders are assisting the king on this back end push, which is very, very nice. So the power of this push really just got all the way into the core of the base. It's got the monolith, and then basically the king, RC, and the super hog are going to work together to clear the rest of the back end of the base. So again, it goes to show this Apprentice Warden does provide a lot of HP to that corner flank of the push. You know, just the Siegeberg and the King. It's a great purpose and example why to use the Princess Warden to, you know, support and give that flank extra HP. So you could see we ended with 4 heroes. We still got the Princess Warden and that Super Hog Rider there as well. So another good use case of the Super Bowlers in combination with the Super Hog Riders and a Princess Warden. So now we're going to jump into our final replay of the day. Okay, our last replay of the day here is going to be none other than the classic Queen Charge Hybrid. But this one is kind of a different, I mean, we're going to invest a recall spell, just, you know, basically set some funneling for our Queen Charge Hybrid. So with this one, the main goal was just to be able to take out the Eagle, and then maybe one of the Expos. Whether she's got this one, or she gets both, that's fine. But ideally, one of the Expo. The Flame Flinger is basically going to be able to clearing this scouter compartment. And then I'm going to recall the Queen, start the Queen basically here, and walk into this Town Hall and be able to take the Town Hall and just send the Hybrid through the middle of the base. So, nonetheless, we are getting some pretty good value with the Flinger there. Although it takes that one shot from that mortar, not the end of the world there. But we do recall the Queen. Now, she did go for the right Expo instead of the left one. I was mainly wanting that left one, but it's still fine. Still going to start the Queen to basically get the Town Hall. We're going to start the Queen. We're going to go with the plan, basically. Now, I believe there was a Tesla that kind of popped up right in front of my Flinger, so the siege troops were actually kind of a waste in a bit just because I had Hogs. So once I noticed that, I went ahead, just without waiting, just went ahead and started the Hybrid there. I've got the new level Hogs there, although it doesn't necessarily do too much against this, but it's still pretty strong. Now the CC troops does all go to waste there. So again, I think with this new update, I'm having more fun with using the recall spell, whether it's just for a smash, for a Hydra, for a hybrid. I'm finding this recall spell more effective just because the part 2 of the attack now is a bit easier, I would say. So I'm not having to get too much with my Queen Charge. Every time I'm using recall, I haven't really gotten like 80% of the base with the charge, but more so the part 2 of the attack is getting more now. So that's the one good thing about this update is, you know, having the new level of offense, and then in combination with recall spell, I just think it's pretty fair to say that it's a little bit easy in terms of using the recall spell and finding plans following along with that. So whether it's air with the new level of dragons, with the new level Hogs, or into a super bowler smash as I previously did, there's just a lot of ways you can really take advantage of these bases now with the new troop levels. So I really was able to finish this base with a lot of miners, got the Queen, Warden, and the RC finishing the base, even though, you know, the pathing on everything wasn't the best, but still goes to show the power of everything. And that's a wrap on today's video. I hope you enjoyed the new strategies I provided for you all. Now, I will link the Super Bowler Smash and the Super Drag Clone Lalo composition down in the description, so make sure you guys go check that out. If you guys enjoyed the attacks, give this video a like and comment down below what you would like to see me try next. But until then, guys, I'll catch you all in the next one. Ghost out.